Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to have you here. Glad to be here. It's going to be a great day. Oh, man, it's going to be a great day. A lot of great things to talk about, what's going on in the market. I think I'm going to start putting up a theme on Thursdays. Today's theme is going to be about the AI boom, and we're going to take a look at some AI stocks. We've got a lot of that already presented in the system for you, especially if you are a subscriber. If you're not, it is going to be what it is, and at some point in time you will be. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. And I cleared this through Mark, Joey. Today I'm going to give away two things. Tomorrow on tomorrow's live stream, I'm going to give away one something. So all of that is coming from the merch store. I've got three distinct things that I'm going to give out, but that's going to wait until the end of the stream. So if you want anything that I'm going to give away, you got to be here and be present at the end of the stream. With that, let's get going on with what's going on in the market. Interesting, the market's pulling back. Just before we came on, the market started to do a pullback. Look at that. Three yellow lights in the color guard today. We have a mixture in the market. The Dow is slightly down. The composite is slightly down, but the NASDAQ and S&P are both up, but they're coming off of their session highs. I don't know what was just said in the market or what just took place in the market for the market to turn around and do this. I want to show you what the market looks like intraday. Look at that. Nice bounce in the market today, like it did yesterday. It did that yesterday as well. But this is the 9:30 hour, some up in here. Look at that run up, all the way up to the high today. The session high hit at 11:55. And then, bam, market falls, a little bit of run back. But look at that. I don't know what just happened. If anybody out there knows what happened since about 12 o'clock today, let me know, because I haven't the slightest idea. I got a special guest on today, real quick. Man, so much stuff to talk about. All right, and let's go put this on a 3-month graph. Where are we? In the wedge, and look at that. Today, the wick of today's candle broke outside of the wedge to the upside. Now we're back in the wedge. This is where we are. We got to see, this is a consolidation pattern. Also covered with this a little bit of sideways move over the last couple of weeks as well. Man, it's just a lot of stuff going on. Biden just landed in Japan. What's that got to do with anything? Listen, don't get this political stuff started, because I will turn this room around and I will put you all in timeout, all right? Because that's what's going to happen. All right. Intraday, end of day, that's what's going on in the market. What is the main color you saw on the color guard on the homepage? You saw a lot of yellow. What does that mean right now? You guys just need to be cautious to what's going on in the market. So with that being said, I'm not going to look at any news yet. I am going to bring on my my special guest. Hold on, where do I want to go? I want to go here. I am going to bring on my special guest. I don't know, Joey. There we go. Jim Penna, the manager of retirement. And he's got something going on. We talked about it last week. He's going to do a little bit of a deeper dive today. Jim, talk to them about what you got going on, man.
Hi, Glenn, and hello, everyone. Thanks for allowing me just a couple of minutes. I'm going to stay here and talk about, we talked a little bit about the presentation we did on the covered calls. I'm going to take another, at most, 5 minutes here, talk a little bit about covered calls. Glenn, real quick, you were asking what happened to the market and what's triggered, that it's coming in a little bit. On my really super secret dark web, I just announced to my followers that I am now long gold and short the Qs. So that's what happened, just in case anybody's wondering what's going on in the market. That's a joke, of course, for anyone who doesn't know me. Anyway, thanks for being here. And yeah, Glenn, thanks for letting me come on. I want to talk about the covered call. Glenn, if you can I'm going to do something a little different here. Glenn and I talked about it before we started. I want to show a couple of slides. I want to make a point why the covered call is so important for the individual investor. Now, listen, if you're day trading and swing trading or trading options, short term, listen, it may not be for you, but if you're managing any type of equity portfolio or looking for an easy income trade, the covered call's a great way to generate income. But what I want to talk about just for a couple of minutes is some of the other benefits, right? We know generating income, selling covered calls is the main theme there, but there really are some other benefits from understanding covered calls. So Glenn, I'm going to take just, again, if we can go through the slides, it's for those, couple of things. For those who are at the presentation over the last couple of days, you'll recognize the few slides that I'm going to show here.
And Joey, real quick, I turned down my speakers for the echo, so they should be sounding better now.
Yeah, that's where it was coming from.
Yeah, right. So go ahead, Jim.
All right, Glenn. So thank you again, and you'll just scroll through these with me because I don't have access to that. But the covered call, right? What it is, how to trade it. Again, I think it's very important. The beauty of options, generally speaking, is the versatility and flexibility, all of the different things you can do. Specifically, with just the covered call, there are things you can do as well. For those who may be new to them, I've talked about this definition before. Lee Lowell, I wrote a book, Dr. D read it, made sure everybody in education read it. And when I read the covered call portion, there's this great definition of what a covered call is. There are traders out there who will give you money today for the right to take your stock away at a higher price at a later date. If anybody in the room is new to covered calls, it's the most straightforward, common sense definition that I've ever read. So that's the beauty of it. Somebody will pay me today to take my stock away at a higher price. You can keep going there. So we talk about the benefits, right, of options and specifically covered calls. I'm skipping generate income. We know you sell it, you get paid, and there's a process that we use. It's called the buy right. But there are reasons, all other reasons you should be involved with covered calls, I believe. One of them is downside protection. I'm going to talk about that real quick. I used the trade that we did in our coaching group. So for those who are in the coaching group, you're familiar with this. We did a trade on Alcoa. It was trading at $74 a share. Okay. You can just keep going. I went out and I sold the 75 strike and I took in $4.42 a share. Okay. On the call that I sold. That money's mine. It goes into my pocket. What does it do? Right. So we're talking about downside protection here. One of the benefits. Okay. I own the stock 74.04. I sell the call. My cost base is now 69.62. Right, the stock could go down. Alcoa can go down $4.41, and I'm still profitable at expiration. Okay, that's $4.42 of downside protection. Now, you can do that in the buy right. You can do it against calls that you already own, so that that's the beauty of it. One good reason. Another reason to understand, and if you're not trading covered calls or if you want to implement them, and I think this one's not talked about enough, and I'm going to try to start focusing on it a little more, eliminates the greed factor, right? So let's say you're not just selling covered calls as a process to generate income, but you're looking to manage positions, specifically positions where you have a significant unrealized gain, right? We all know that greed comes into play and it gets in our way sometimes. But Glenn, let's show this example about eliminating how covered calls can eliminate the greed factor. And what happened with this actual trade that we did was the perfect example. So what if you just bought the shares of Alcoa, trading it to, we'll call it 74, instead of selling the covered call or doing the buy right? Well, the next slide will show you, well, it worked out really well. The stock went from 74 all the way up to 90, right? Now, if you weren't doing the covered call, there's a lot of traders out there who would say, I'm pretty darn good. Stock went from 75 to 90. So now I know it's got to go to at least 105. So you do nothing. Greed kicks in. Instead of saying, all right, how can I manage this? Well, if you do nothing, oftentimes greed will have you giving back your profits. We don't want that, right? Bought it at 74. It's trading at 90. I own it now at 90. I don't want to think that I own it at 74. And if we go to the next step, all right, it bounced up a little bit. So now again, you're the hero, but ultimately without a plan, without a process to manage it, you're going to end up perhaps selling it at a loss and giving it back. Okay. What happened in this actual trade, because we did the covered call, Okay, knowing we have a max profit target that we're looking for, that we have this management technique, we were able to get out of the trade and we were able to net a nice income. Now, this is an example. Do they work this perfectly every time? Of course not. But when you follow the process, know when to trade it, know how to trade it, you're going to have more winners than losers. And then the final benefit of this that investors should know is you can profit even if the stock doesn't go anywhere. And we did another actual trade in our coaching group. I know Jay's here. I know Jay remembers the trade, I'm sure. Sometimes the stock looks great. We go ahead, we go through our process and we do the buy right, where we buy the stock and sell the call. Well, what happened here, right? We bought the stock, I believe, at, it'll tell us on the next slide, at 69 and change, I believe. Well, in this case, first you buy the stock and it didn't, it kind of went side, didn't crash and went down. But in this case, a covered call can make you money whether your stock goes sideways, right? Or even down, a little. Okay, obviously, if it goes down significantly, you have to have stop criteria in place. But time decay eats away at the value of that call. So as your stock moves sideways, time decay is eating away at the value of your call. And what happened here is we sold the 63 strike price. And as the stock went sideways, it didn't meet our stop criteria to the downside. It just moved sideways. And at the end of this trade, we get to keep a premium. And after just 3 weeks, we closed with $448 of income. And you can see what the stock did, right? So these are some great benefits of understanding and trading covered calls. It's a very simple trade. Listen, at times it can be a boring trade. I don't know. But if you're building, managing, investing your personal net worth and you're managing it, on your own, covered calls is a great way. I know that they put the link up. I'm sure it was in the chat box there. But if you want to join, go ahead. You have till Monday, 5 o'clock. It's gonna close. We're doing what we call the covered call boot camp. And we're going to walk through step by step when to trade, what to trade, how to set up that trade. And most importantly, I believe how to manage the trade once you're in, right? Understanding everything about setting up, what stock to buy, when to buy it, make sure it's the proper option candidate. That's all wonderful. But if you don't manage it correctly once you're in the trade, that's all kind of useless to me. So go to VectorVest.com//CC Bootcamp if you're interested.
It is pinned
to
the top of the chat for all you guys out there. So all you got to do is click on that link.
Great. Did somebody just quote Gordon Gekko? I see somebody quoted Gordon Gekko. Stay tuned for my special presentation tomorrow night, whoever that was.
Who? I didn't see the Gordon Gekko quote.
I see it's from John. John said, "Greed is good." And show her the clip from Gordon Gekko.
Oh, greed is good. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
With the slick back hair. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, join tomorrow night. That's so funny. That's very coincidental.
All right.
Talk a little
Interesting.
about Gordon Gekko tomorrow night.
And again.
Anyway.
Go ahead, Jim.
Go ahead. No, I just wanted to say I know I rushed through that quickly, but there's a lot of good reasons to understand the covered call. Again, listen, as I said, if you're very short-term swing trading or whatever, covered calls may not be for you. But if you're building, managing your net worth with any type of equities in a portfolio, I believe understanding covered calls is very important to you.
All right, Joey put the link again in there, right there for you for the presentation for the actual course. This is the link actually for the course. For those of
and
you
just a
who
quick reminder, Glenn,
who do not understand how to trade options, this is one of the simplest option trades you can play besides buying calls and puts. And as Jim pointed out, several different ways to do it, to generate income, for protection, for management. And I think that many people don't understand just how flexible the trade is. That's 4 different things that he just talked about right there, all off of one trade. So I think that even on for the people who have stocks that they're trying to manage specifically because they're going up a lot, you can use the covered call as a way to make sure that the greed doesn't get the best of you. So if you haven't already, hit the like button. I always love it when I get somebody else from the education department to stop by. Folks, these guys are busy doing a lot of things every single day. And I appreciate you coming by today and Trending Thursday to give VV Nation some insight on the power behind the covered call and that boot camp that you're going to be talking about and teaching about. So if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Jim, thank you for being here. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, guys.
John says, good point, Jim. People build up a nice portfolio and they still can make nice return with what you do in the portfolio that generate income with dividends and selling options. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for taking the time, and I look forward to, if not working with you here, but we'll see you next time either way. Thanks, everyone.
You got it,
Thanks,
man.
Glenn and Joey. Take care.
Have a good day, bro.
Take care.
All right.
You too.
So with all of that being said, we're going to start to get back into what else is news is moving the markets. You know me, I got a lot of headlines. But I think today, with the time that we have left, we're going to go through the headlines because I definitely want to get into the theme for today, which is the AI boom, and a couple of other things that I've got some stocks for you. I always got stocks for you. I use the power of the VectorVest software to do that. Real quick, there is a video tomorrow night. The 6 p.m. video is going to be talking about the near perfect indicator. I've taken what Stan Heller has done and I've now put it into a YouTube video. For those of you who are new to the VectorVest software, for those of you who do not have the VectorVest software, I think this video will give you an opportunity for you to actually come across the fence and make a decision on why you want to take advantage of this cherry picking technique. That's going to be tomorrow's video at 6 p.m. All right, let's go through some news that's going on in the market. Debt ceiling talks involve taking back unspent COVID funds. Now, this is a big story, but it's only $30 billion. Do we not know that we got trillions of dollars worth of debt? And this is on the table for $30 billion. Now, you know, that's money that could be used. So don't get me wrong, I understand that, but that ain't a lot of money. Glenn, with raising the debt ceiling, I wonder what this will do to interest rates. I think that interest rates are still going to have to keep getting raised because you know something, as we spend money, what does that do to inflation? Type it in the room. What does that do to inflation? If we we're going to raise the debt ceiling, it's going to happen. We're going to spend a ton of money. What is that going to do to inflation? Type it in the room. All right. There you go. Mark says $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Pretty soon it's serious money. It's only $30 billion. I'm looking at it at the real, what is going to happen? Nobody wants to type in what's going to happen to inflation. Sigh. All right. It's going to go up. And if it does go up because there's a lot more money involved, we're spending a lot more money. Who thinks that the Fed is going to still pause coming into June? I mean, there's a lot of you guys out there that really want the Fed to pause. They want the Fed to cut. But once we raise the debt ceiling, folks, inflation's going to rise up a little bit. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. All right, the inflation will raise your taxes. That's not out of the picture as well. All right, so I want you to keep that in mind. We're on the precipice of them, and everybody's saying we're not going to let America default on its bills, and that's fine. But we're going to spend a buttload of money that's going to affect inflation adversely. John says, imagine if we all personally manage our finances like the government. We'd be a third world country if that's the case. We'd be a third world country. Jeff says, Fed will not pause because we aren't even close to 2%. I agree with that as well, but there's a lot of people in this room think that the Fed is going to pause in June. I don't see it. How about this? Fed officials struggled. There it is. And here's the next story, talking about pausing or not. Fed officials suggest June rate rise will be a close call. All right. Let's talk about jobless claims. Jobless claims fall to 242,000 and continuing claims dip below 1.8 million, sparking a sell-off in gold. Next one. And this is one that, I don't like to talk politics, but I do like this. New House bill would block pay for members of Congress if the U.S. defaults. How many of you agree with this story? Type a 1. I'm typing a 1 100 times. I'm typing a 1 100 times. Absolutely. Let them be held accountable. Let them be. If we default, if we don't get this passed, then y'all get a blockage and pay because you didn't do your jobs. Now again, I'm not into the politics, but I just thought that this was something to talk about. Let's talk politics, starting with the Durham report. No, I'm not talking politics. Let's go to the next one. U.S. existing home sales dropped more than expected in April. I heard that the drop in home sales was the biggest drop in the last 11 years. DRV is Ravi, if you're here, DRV looks good. Dan says, present crisis, energy, food, supply, monetary bond, inflation, water, stock. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. You got to have a JOB if you want to be with me. Let's talk about some earnings. Walmart raises full year guidance as earnings beat on boost from grocery and online business. Grocery. People got to buy food. So what are people doing? They're going to do what they got to do. They're going to buy food even at the exorbitant prices, and they're going to cut back on other stuff. All right. Next one. This is on Alibaba. Alibaba misses revenue estimate, approves cloud unit spinoff. We'll look at that stock. GE soars 55% as 93% growth outlook powers bellwether stock. Wow, is that enough to really push? We're gonna take a look at that. GE is up 55% this year. Here's a stock that I really like that I talked about in a video. RCM Energy Services announces the opening of its new operations center in Germany. I like the international footprint, but this is a stock that I've liked. I put it out in the video. Pharmaceuticals, giants Novartis, Lilly, and Merck and Novo outperform the market. All right, so, excuse me, if you're looking for any biotechs, these are the big biotechs to keep your eyes on. 5 investors are betting big on Rivian. So the interesting thing about this is when Rivian came out, they were backed bigly by Amazon and by Ford. Ford pulled out of it, all right, because I think Ford was really going after their own electric vehicle, the Lightning. So I think that was a precursor, to pull out of it. Amazon still has, the largest shareholder is Amazon with 158 million shares. And they're still holding fast. They're still holding fast. And then other people are getting in on it. So 13 F filers down, own 571 million. It's down a little bit. Okay. This is another big story in the AI space. I think Nvidia is a big player in that space. ServiceNow and Nvidia announced partnership to build generative AI across the enterprise IT. That's going to lead into my theme for this week. Have you driven a Ford lately? Yeah, I own a Ford. I own a Ford Excursion. I do. I own a Ford Excursion. Lou says type 1 if you want. No, we're not getting into that, Lou. Actually, some Marjorie Taylor Greene, just in case from a political standpoint, is bringing up articles of impeachment against Joe Biden. I don't know if you heard about that or not, but it's getting ready to happen. All right, so those are my stocks. For the sake of saving some time today, I've already made my watch list of the stocks. Let's go to big new stocks. I already made my, I'm missing one though. I'm missing 2. I'm missing Now, which is ServiceNow, and I'm missing Nvidia. All right, so these are the stocks that made the list for the big stories this week. Look at that, RCMT. How many of you listened to me when I said that this stock caught my attention and I wanted you to keep your eyes on it? How many of you listened? Type of 1. And how many of you listened and are tracking it? Type of 1. This was a stock, not a lot of people know about it, but I brought it to your attention. I liked that it was undervalued, that it had good upside, and that it had nice earnings growth. But I did a video on it, on some of like 5 stocks that I really like. This was one of those stocks. Only Melinda was the only one that kept track of it. That's fine. Listen, I'm trying to help, a brother trying to help you out. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do before it started moving up. As a matter of fact, I want to show you something. I don't remember the date that I talked about it, but since I've talked about it, put on a 3-month graph, the stock's been doing halfway darn good. I am going to start using this graph layout known as the near perfect indicator. You're going to learn more about it tomorrow, but I like this layout when looking at stocks. Can you talk about the stocks in the quantum computing? Fabricio, I need time to be able to put that story together. So that's something that I will keep in mind. I can't do it today. Your screen is very blurry for some reason. Rajiv, I need you to close out of YouTube or go to the cog, go to the little wheel at the bottom of the video and change the resolution. That may help you. I like TXRH because it's breaking and their ribs taste great. Texas, is that Texas Roadhouse? Restaurant stocks may not be a bad play. I just did a video on my stocks for the summer, and one of the companies I had up there was Darden. So, which has several different restaurants. Restaurants may not be a bad play. But this stock I do like. Nice open candle today from the MPI. It's right on board. Look at the 5, just went above the 40 on price. I'm liking this stock. Glenn, if you use the NPI, can you use it in a sort with stocks are in the top 100 of VST? No, because the MPI, actually, I could. Oh, that's a good question on the fly. Actually, I could. Watch this. Let's go to Unisearch. I like that question. Let's go to the top. No. Let's go to the MPI search. MPI, near perfect indicator, go to 3-day. Let's go stocks, filter by. Hold on. Search is prudent. How do I do top VST stocks? All right. I might can. Let's go to 3 days. I'm thinking these are already sorted by VST. I got to think about that. I think I could. If I take these two and put them to the top VST stocks, I think I can. All right. Let me save that for another opportunity. I think that I can. All right. Let me close this window, Joey. No. I don't want to leave. I can't close it. I minimized it. All right. I did minimize it. Let me move this over. All right. I think that I can do it on top VST. Just let me think my way through it. Let's go back to the viewers tab. Again, all of my stocks from this news stories. Alibaba was an earnings play. Look at that towards the bottom of the list. Eli Lilly, the drug companies, Lilly, Merck, and what was my next one? Novartis, all the way through the list. Walmart with the earnings beat. The housing issue, DRV might be a good play. Plays it to the downside. MPI Search, Chappell's Chance plus MPI Search. I got to meld them together, John. So I'm going to take the top VST, and I may try to have it done for next week. I'm going to take the top VST stocks, but make it MPI ready. How about that? Does that make sense? So remind me next week. I think I'm going to try to do it. All right. Let's go quickly. These are the stocks that made the news. Alibaba, even though the news was, it's at the bottom of my list. The stocks that have, out of the 11 stocks, it looks like 8 out of, or actually 9 out of the 11 have VSTs at or above 1. So even though the news may be good, bad, or indifferent, I do like that. Notice that the majority of the stocks have double-digit earnings growth. None of the stocks are sell recommendations. That's a good thing as well. All right, Jerry says, regarding interest rate hikes affecting banks, yes, that's Great Depression was caused by high rising interest rates caused a run on banks. As many knows, this was ugly. I don't think that we're going to get anywhere close to causing a run on banks. I don't think that's going to happen. But that's just me. Oh, something's going on with OBS. Glenn, huh?
I think it's your computer or OBS. I don't know, but it's back now.
Oh, it is? Okay.
I everything just stopped for a minute. Oh, it was your internet. That's why you got the yellow bars at the bottom of VectorVest.
Ah, okay. Let me double click on it. Let me see. Ooh. Yeah, let me get that back to you. Okay. Let me still give that back to you. All right. Will it stay here? There, you got it.
All right, let me move this.
Sorry about that, folks. This is what it's like to be live. All right, especially, you know why? I think the man is trying to hold me down because we were having a good conversation. The man is holding me down. Don't worry about it. All right, so there we go. There is a stock in the list that is a sell recommendation. It's Rivian. All right. I'm not a big fan of Rivian, and people could be buying into it. That's good, bad, or oh, that's why. All right, it's bouncing back and forth between a hold and a sell. I was like, it wasn't there before. I don't like the negative earnings. All right, let's do this. Hottest industries. So what I do when I look for the hottest industries, somebody asked me about how often do I do it. I do it every Trending Thursday. What I do is I go to the unit search tool. I want to take you through the process. I've got a search built for what I call 10-day price delta strong industries. So I'm looking for industries delta, how big they've run over, how much of a change in price they've gone up over the last 10 days. But 10 days ago, they had to be positive. So what I get from this search by looking at the industries is I look to see 10 days ago where they were and if they're growing. 10 days ago, wow, look at that drug wholesale distribution, big jump in the industry. So that's what I look for. That's step one. Step two is I go to the industry, drug wholesale distribution. I look at the industry graph on a 3-month graph, okay? I'm still looking at the near perfect indicator. But what I'm looking for is the move of the industry. Is it moving higher? Watching the RT ranking. And if I see that the industry is moving higher, I then dive into the industry by double-clicking on it. And I bring up the top stocks in the industry. But I want to sort it by CI. I want to find the stocks in the industry that go up more than they go down. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes or no? That process that I just explained to you, does that make sense to everybody? That's how I go through the process of finding the stocks for the hottest industries. All right, so that's the process I go through. I look at no more than 2 stocks per industry, and I try to make sure that the CIs are there. Now, all of the stocks in the industry may not have positive CIs. So what else do I look for? Well, I look at earnings growth. I notice that not every stock in here has got a CI above 1. So I look at, are they fundamentally sound? Look at that. What's the earnings growth rate? Are they undervalued? This one is more of a speculative play. Good earnings growth, a little over, but it's in an industry that is on the rise. So I look at the best within there that I can find. My comment on the Fed interest rates is that the Fed could be fearful because history can repeat itself. I don't think that, and I hear you, Jerry. All right, I'm going to put that comment up there. I hear you, Jerry. I don't think that the Fed is fearful of overshooting yet because inflation is such an issue. So I think that they're going to be more on the side of overshooting than to fall short or miscalculate what's going on in inflation, like they called it transitory. That's what I'm saying in regards to that, Jerry. All right, so let's talk about my stocks that I did this for last week. I did the same process. Hi, David. I did the same process last week. Let's go see how these worked out. I'm going to take this back to the 11th. These were my stocks that I went through the same process with. Let's go see, did we make any money? Ooh, we lost money. Why? Because that freaking triple leverage, super high, volatile, cold killed us. But I want you to take a look at it from a different perspective. Out of the 8 stocks that I prepared for you last week, 5 of them made money. That's not half bad on trying to stay on top of the industries that are moving in a sideways moving market. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? Do you agree with that? Yes or no? That was a super speculative play. If everybody who knows me knows that that whole natural gas space is so volatile. It either works or it doesn't. But in a market that's been tricky with a lot of yellow lights in the color guard, 5 out of the 8 stocks is not a bad play. And with the exception of cold, the 2 stocks that went against you were manageable. So the process that I've taken you through to try to find the hottest industries, overall, with the outlier of that very volatile triple leverage contra, that's not half bad. I'll take that more so than not. All right. So based on that, let's go look at what stocks and industries I have for you this week. Here they are. And all I need you to do is keep these on your radar. Keep these on your radar. All right, that's all I want you to do. I've taken you through the process. I look at what industries are rising over the last week. I look at the industries themselves on a graph. If they're going up, I take it a step further. I look at the stocks within there, sorting it by CI, and I'm giving you some of the best stocks that I can give you in the industries that are rising. All right, remember I told you that I was going to try to do a watch list or a portfolio that's looking at my 4 industries, building, cement, steel, copper, and glass. Well, I got a watch list for you. Every Thursday, we'll keep our eyes on it. This is my watch list of stocks in those 4 industries. Interesting, there was only really 2 stocks that I could find in the glass space. That was TGLS and APOG. Those are the 2 stocks in building glass that I could find. Now, I've got a building ETF that I want you to keep your eyes on, PKB. All right. In the steel space, we got ATI and I got STLD. In the copper space, I've got SCCO and COPEX. And in the cement space, I've got HCMLF and CX, I believe CX. Hold on. Move over. Yep. CX and HC. Yeah, there we go. Cement. All right. So this is a watch list that I've made up for you. What's the news on TGLS? I think it's the space, Drew. The space of the boom that's getting ready to happen in building because of bringing manufacturing back over to the United States. A lot of these factories got to be built, whether it's for TSMC's big investment in chip. They're making a huge chip factory. I believe it's in Arizona. There's already one in Arizona, but I think they're making another one someplace else. We saw Tesla was breaking ground in Texas. All right, there's a lot of big manufacturing going on, building for manufacturing going on. That's what I got. And they did have a secondary offering of stocks. I think they were just raising capital. It's a pullback. I think I'm okay with that. So it's down. What is it down today? It was down a lot more than it was right now. It's only down 0.3%. But earnings growth rate at 33%, fundamentally sound. I like the stock. Apogee, not as much. The safety is not there. It is a sell recommended stock, but I think if the industry is rising, APOG will pick up. So this is what we'll do on a weekly basis. This was created 5/18. We're going to keep our eyes on it. We're definitely going to keep our eyes on it. Builder is a good one. I agree, but for the most part, I think of Builder, Steve, more so for residential. Do you agree with that or not? Why not EXP for building cement? So, Chris, when I went to look at the stocks in building cement, tell you what I did. There's HCMLF. There's a lot of stocks in this space, right? How many stocks? There's 15. You're asking why not EXP? I ain't got it. I don't know where that falls for you. But here's my stocks in the building cement. What I wanted to do was sort it by CI. CX is here. HC, and that's why I've got the stocks that I have in my list. Does that make sense, Chris? That's why I've got the stocks that I have in my list, because those were the 2 highest by. It's the first one. You said EXP, Chris. Where's EXP? It's not the first one. It's not the first one. by VST. I got it sorted by CI. That's the reason why I didn't pick it. I didn't say that it's a bad one. I've got other stocks that have higher comfort indexes. That's why, Chris. All right, so there it is. There's EXP. It's not a bad stock, undervalued, fundamentally sound. I'm all for it. But I'm looking at the stocks that have that have a better ability to withstand long or lengthy price declines. I'm not saying that you can't take any of these. I think the space overall is a hot space. But I wanted to give you some insight by way of using that CI. All right. So that's my watch list of those 4 industries. Take a picture. We're going to monitor it every Thursday. Let's go see how it's working out. You remember I did my picks as a video this week? TGLS was a good put sale to get out of the gap fill. And listen, I'm all right with that too. But you know something? Look at the rebound on it. Let's go look at that, David. So a lot of people are telling me about the move today. Let's go talk about it. Look at that. It's giving back a lot of the downside. And you know something? You're right as far as the gap filler. I think it fades the gap. I don't think, if I'm looking at it from an NPI perspective, it's almost about ready to back up the mode of getting out of it and waiting for a better opportunity. A lot of money was made on the stock. Put on the 3 month. A lot of money was made on the stock. Look at that. It rode that moving average of the 5-day moving average of the stock price. Beautiful level, and just went up, 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 up. This is the first gap down in price action over the last 3 months. We'll see. It could be, what goes up must come down. All right. David said, just got out. Listen, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't do that. Actually, I would sell the call somewhere up here. I would sell the call right at the gap. Yeah. Hold on. Let me move that over. I would have sold probably a 47.50. Probably $2.50. I probably sold a 47.50 somewhere up in there. And I'd be fine with that. Absolutely. As long as it stays below the stop, the strike, I'd be fine. All right. So remember, you guys really talked about me doing on a Monday basis. The Monday's video be my top 5 picks of the week. I want to show you something. I've been trying to give them to you in this session every week. So last week, I only came up with 4, my top 4 picks, and there's a process that I go through to find these stocks as well. I want to see something. Let's go back 1 week again. This is something I give you every week, or try to, in Trending Thursday. Let's do a quick test. My top 5 picks for last week. Wow, look at that. Look at that. How cool is that? That's a 1 week. Out of the 4 stocks, 2 go up, 2 go down. Even the 2 that went down was still manageable. Nice move on SMCI. So going forward, my new Monday's videos will give you, hopefully, 5 top stocks for the week. Again, there's a process that I go through to find these stocks. These are good quality stocks. And make sure you tune in every Monday evening for the 6 p.m. video I give you. And this was just the last one I did over the last week. We blew the market away. So I think that if you don't want to miss them every week on Monday night's video, make sure you tune in to get my next top 5 picks. All right, last thing I want to talk about real quick is the AI boom. Where's my, didn't I do it? Oh, there it is, weekly theme. All right, so my weekly theme for this week is going to be AI. All right, I've gone through the process, and I want to show you something. If you are a VectorVest subscriber, you have a group in the viewers tab called Overview Watchlist. We have AI stocks and ETFs. I went to that list. Folks, again, we do the work, you reap the reward. You reap the rewards. We got a listing of 50 stocks in here that cover the full range of AI. Just about every stock. I'm getting ready to add about 3 or 4 other stocks to this list. I talked to our data department. There's some other stocks that I want to get added. But just about every stock that is part of the AI space is here. Thank you, Rajiv. Rajiv says, we admire your efforts and dedication, Glenn. I like that. Thank you very much for that. All right, Boyle, the time finally came to jump on board. Stephanie, and I'm going to tell you, when it comes down to Boyle and Cole, they're day trades. That's where I'm stuck at right now. When it comes down to boil and cold, KOLD, natural gas, they are day trades. How many of you agree with that? Type of one. I am at the point right now that if I'm looking at either one of those stocks, they are day trades. Type of one if you agree. Type of two if you want to hold them longer term. All right, look at my AI stocks today. Man, big movers. A stock that I've talked a lot about today is rocking and rolling. That's Palantir. I love that stock. I think that's one of my stocks that I really, really like for the purposes of, with AI, Palantir and Snow are going to be the two solid companies that people will go to for AI to get data. I want you guys to keep your eyes on both of these stocks, Palantir and Snow. Mark it down. All right, mark it down. Mark, tell me when you wrote it down. These two stocks, when it comes down to AI, I need you guys to keep your eyes on. Mark, did you mark it down yet? Dag nabbit. All right. So what I've done from this list, I sorted them by CI, sorted the whole list by CI. And then I went through the process to see, all right, let's go build a list for my theme stock today. And that's my theme stocks. Oops, did I want to move? No, let me stay right here. My theme stocks, go to the viewers. There's my weekly theme. This week is going to be on AI. I took the top 5 by CI. Not all, I didn't have, it didn't all work. It didn't all work out. So I also wanted to see what stocks were fundamentally sound. I did a combination of both. Not everyone had a high CI, but I also wanted to make sure that these were stocks that were fundamentally sound from the list. All have double-digit earnings growth. Put all that together. These are my top 5 stocks from the AI space that I want you to keep your eyes on. Now, understand that Palantir and Snow, I still want you to keep your eyes on. Keep your eyes on. If I'm going to invest in any of these stocks in the AI space right now, based upon the VectorVest software, these are my top 5 right now. These are my top 5 right now. And let's go put these on a 3-month graph. Even looking at the near perfect indicator, look at Oracle. Look at that. All right, let's go look at ANSS. I like following off a level, finding a little level of support, nicely moving up. Ooh, but the MPI says wait. All right, the MPI says wait. Wow, CRM, the MPI says rock and roll. Have a good day, David. Have a good day, my friend. Look at that, CRM. What else? I like Accenture coming. Look at that V. Look at that V bottom. Came down hard, going up hard. I like that. Accenture. And my last one is Workday. Look at that. The 5 and 40 on the stop price are about to cross. The RT is about to cross soon. I think this one is setting up. All right. But if I'm looking at top 5 stocks by way of my analysis in the space, here's my top 5 for you to buy now. All right. Joey, I'm going to give away, Joey, Mark said
Let's make it boot camp.
Huh?
Boot camp?
You want to give away a boot camp?
No.
Oh, I ain't doing that. No. All right. So the key word for my giveaway, I'm going to give away a VectorVest mug today. The key word is boot camp. Not a hoodie. I'm giving away a mug. I'm giving away a mug today, a hat, and a polo tomorrow on live stream. Give away a hat and a polo tomorrow on live stream. So if you want to get into today's giveaway, which is going to be a mug, you have to type in the keyword bootcamp. You've got to be here at the end of the session in order to claim it. You got to be here at the end of the session in order to claim it. All right, last thing we're going to do while you're typing that in, I covered a lot real fast. Last thing I want to cover is your stock picks. So now I'm going to be watching for stock picks. I'm going to get 10 of them covered in with boot camp. All right, here we go. Roger says, darn, I already have 2 mugs, need a hat. Tomorrow I'm giving away a hat and a polo. ENVB, 1. STLD, 2. TXGH, 3. I'm only going to take 1, John. I'm only going to take 1. I'm going to give people another opportunity. I'm going to put MCHP. I'm only going to take 1, John. That's 4. LAC, 5. NTR, 6. ACLS, 7. XERS, 8. DRV, 9. One more. Going once, going twice. Work boot. Is there such one? Work boot? Nope, I ain't got work boot. Not it's boot camp. FDX, FedEx. All right, there's my 10 stocks. I got my 10 stocks. Right? Nope, I'll take apps. No, what after FDX was DKL. DKL was the next stock on the list. All right, there's my 10 stocks. Nvidia is only going up on AI hype. Its earnings are really low. Listen, Steven, I am a fan of Nvidia in that space. All of the news that I've got on it, all of the, and I track that stock on several different sites. I think that it's going to play a major role. Why? Because people need chips when it comes down to the AI space. So I don't think it's hype. I think it makes sense. When you're looking at AI, you need powerful chips. And Nvidia is one of the best companies out there for that. You also got AMD. I think Nvidia is a better play than AMD. Does that make sense, Steven? So I think it's more than just hype. AI is going to need these powerful chips in order to progress the AI stuff. All right, does that make sense, Steven? All right, here's my 10 stocks. Top of the list, ACLS with a VST of 1.44. Bottom of the list, Delic. Interesting that out of the 10 stocks, 7 of the 10 stocks you gave me have VSTs above 1. You guys didn't pick out really bad ones. FedEx, overvalued. It's not fundamentally sound. It's going up in price. Negative earnings, positive earnings, positive earnings, negative earnings growth. I ain't sure about FedEx. I don't like the overvalued, and I don't like that it's not fundamentally sound, but it's going up in price. I'm not sure what's driving the price up higher on it. You always got to have a biopharma, way overvalued, fundamentally not sound. RT must be news-driven right now. Negative earnings, but positive earnings growth. Microchip, there's another like Nvidia. Undervalued, I like that. Fundamentally sound, 23. So now you look at MCHP, SMCI, AMD, Nvidia. There's a lot of, on semiconductor, there's a lot of companies in the chip space. I still like Nvidia. FDX, a major restructuring play. Now keep in mind, I don't know the news behind these. Remember, I'm just looking at them. I'm just looking at them as you wanted me to type them in. So I don't know if you know the news. Don't be afraid to tell me what the news is, why you're looking at it. Even if it's a restructuring play, I don't like it yet. It's up 2% today. I don't like it yet based on the fundamentals, though. I came back to get my mug, says Mark. Joey's going to put up there who won in a second. All right, so let's go graph all of these stocks real quick. Only one stock is a sell. Texas Instruments. I was sitting back today. I was looking at Texas Instruments. I'm like, they still around? Interesting about ACLS, I like the move. How about from the near perfect indicator? The 5-day moving average of RT is about to cross. I like the move. I like the big trough. This might not be a bad play for ACLS right now. I'm going to add in capital appreciation, RV, add in capital appreciation, RS. Let's go look at the fundamentals. Fundamentally sound. The stock is fundamentally sound as well. I like this move. I like the fundamentals, but technically, I like the move. Watch the wick at the top of the candle, though. Next one. This is too early for me to feel comfortable with. I do like the move coming off support, but from the near perfect indicator from entry, I'm not feeling it just quite yet. But it is moving higher. It is moving. You know what I'd like to see? Let's go see if it can break out of this level of resistance right about here. That's what I'd like. That's earlier than the near perfect indicator. Next stock, ZERS, blah, 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 blah. It's still running. I would actually throw another moving average up here. Add moving average exponential. I'm going to throw on a 10. Just take a look at it. Yeah, I would use something to get out of it faster. It's way overextended, even in the near perfect indicator. If it goes below the 10 exponential, I'd probably get out of it. All right, I'd probably get out of it. Let's go to the next stock here. Lithium, I'm a big fan of lithium still. I like the move, but look at right here. It comes down to a level of former resistance, current support, but the body is up here. I would keep my eyes on it. I do like the 5 crossing above the 40 on the stop price of the stock recently. DRV has been leveling out, could be getting ready to jump up. If I see the 5 go above the 40 on RT, I would definitely like it better then. Let's go. It is breaking through a level of resistance, a holding, sitting at 52.88. I'd like to see it break and continue to move up higher than that. This is news. This has got to be news. This has got to be news. And something tells me it's a lot of give back. Profit taking on 124%. Absolutely. I could tell the candle shows me it's a lot of take back. Receives notice of allowance of USPTO for novel prodrug. I hate trying to pronounce all that crap. Anyway, that's news. I saw that was news, but a lot of people are profit taking on it. A lot of people are profit taking on it. Interesting that from the tech side of it, that the near perfect indicator would have gotten you in here prior to this move. That would have been aggressive, super aggressive play. FedEx, you said restructuring. Yeah, it needs to do something. Right now, and maybe I'm not ready to take it yet. I do have a level of support sitting right about here. That's a beautiful level of support. It's above it. I'd like to see if we can break out of that level of the high, though. That's another 3 month. Let's go to the next stock. I'm not feeling that. No way, shape, form, or fashion. Nope. Don't even look good. Just trending down from the high. All right. Nope. Don't like that. And this is a steel stock, you know? This goes to show maybe I look for, did I have that as well? That was one of the stocks that I had in my list on the 4 industries. But it just goes to show that the steel space has been beaten up. That was the best of the worst. It's one of the best of the worst. I'm not a feel, you know. Oh, Marty, how did Marty win? Marty, you won a mug. Huh? Then, you know something, I don't want to, can we not give it to Marty? Can we give somebody else a chance? I don't know what you can do or can't do or how that works. Roll it again. Marty, you ain't winning the mug. No, congrats. Roy P won. Roy, are you here? Marty, I didn't mean to sound like a jerk, but you always win. I love you to death, Marty. I've met you. I love you to death. I needed somebody else to win. Roy, are you here? Roy, you here? Nightbot, Nightbot, I don't spell my name like that anymore. So Marty, again, I wasn't being a jerk. I just know that you've won a few different times. Roy is here. All right, Roy, I need you to send an email to the following address. Send your email to connect@vectorvest.com. Connect@vectorvest.com. We're going to send you out a mug. All right, you're going to win a mug. All right, so, and the last stock on the list is DKL. I think this is probably news-driven too. Up almost 6% today. 10 days ago. Nothing real recent. I don't know what made it move up that much today. If I'm looking at the stock, though, nice level of support. 2 days up. Little wick at the top. You know something? I might not. Might dip my toe into that. Marty, are we good? Yes or no? Marty, are we good? Just want to make sure. All right. Cool. All right. Man, we covered a lot. Are there many people swing trading the MPI stocks? Listen, if there's not, there may be starting tomorrow. Tomorrow's video, the 6 p.m. video, is all about the near perfect indicator. Marty says I'm going to take my ball and go. Marty, don't do that. Marty, don't do that. Sigh. I know. Oh, we got some stuff going on with. Why did you pin that, Joey? Oh my gosh. I'm getting out of this. Fire Blazers getting out of this damn box. We had some internet issues today. Don't know what happened. That's all right. Doesn't happen often. Marty, don't do me that way. Don't do me that way. All right. Hey, I know you do, Marty. Thank you for that. If you enjoyed today's presentation, make sure you hit the like button. All right. We talked about a lot of stuff real quick. We had Jim on. We went through stocks, and every week I'm going to bring some kind of theme to the show, whatever theme is hot. So you'll always be on top of what's going on as far as that's concerned. All right. I'm trying to do a lot of things because I need you guys to share this with people you know. Only 63. I know, Ben. Listen, I can't twist nobody's arm to make them hit the like button. But if it was worth it that you stopped by today, hit the like button. That's all. All right. That's all you got to do. All right. I got to go. Don't forget, tomorrow we have another live stream. I'm going to give away a polo and a hat tomorrow for the live stream for the mobile app coaching. All right. For those of you in the Jockey Club, I'll be doing the Jockey Club tomorrow morning as well. Woo! Joey, that was a lot, wasn't it? I got it all. And we had Jim. All right. So, see you guys tomorrow. Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao. Au revoir. Sayonara. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Bom dia. Salam. Shalom. Namaste. Yasu. Until the next time, folks. See ya.